Hey guys, another review. This time it is a string called ReString Zero. I tried it in the Yonex Percept 97D. Many players, many reviewers mentioned the magic snapback that the string has. Let's talk a little bit more about the ReString Zero. So like I already mentioned, this string was used in a Percept 97D. I also tried Technifiber Razor Code as a string taste cleanser. Let's start with the family of strings that ReString Zero belongs to. I would have to mention here Headlings Tour, Miami Tour Hex, and Technifiber Black Code. I think those three strings are very similar to the ReString Zero. I tried the 123 gauge. It is a nice option to have in the industry, to have a slightly thinner gauge than the typical 125. It opens up the string bed slightly, offers you a bit more spin potential, a bit better forgiveness, but it mainly comes with the gauge, right? So Miami Tour Hex also is a bit thinner, and Black Code as well. If we read through the description of this string, you will find out that the brand is trying to market it as a string with maximum bite and very good snapback and great playability duration. I would say that for sure it lasts quite long, especially for a slightly thinner gauge. The spin potential and snapback, I would say it was quite casual. I mean, string reviews was kind of my first thing, so I tried like 80 strings already. And to be honest, it's quite difficult to surprise me. And I think nowadays the offer is really big. Like, it's hard to find a bad string. There's a lot of great strings, and some are very good. And I would say ReString Zero was a good string. Not sure I would put it in like my top 8. However, it is a very well balanced string. So compared to the family of strings that I already mentioned, I would say it is somewhere between Miami Tour Hex and Headlings Tour. When it comes especially to the stiffness, I think it is slightly softer than the Links Tour and slightly stiffer than the Tour Hex. Yeah, it offers a great balance of control, comfort, spin, snapback, yes, of course. However, I think most players won't notice that big difference of the snapback between those strings. So it might come down to the price point, or maybe the comfort. Comfort is quite important, and being somewhere in the middle is also quite important, because sometimes the string is too stiff, so it's hard to bend it, hard to make it work. And sometimes the string is too soft and you shoot a bit too long. So having those options, finding this perfect middle spot, yeah, is great to have. And the brand in general has environmental commitments, so another great approach in the very crowded industry. I think the string works quite well in a racket like Percept 97D. This racket shines with a slightly more responsive strings that can open up the sweet spot. However, still, I would say with 123 gauge, the launch angle was on the lower side. I think it is a great trade for a thinner gauge. It means that the string performs in a very predictable way. I would prefer something slightly softer, or maybe with a bit more bite. Links Tour in general, I would say, also is not a very spin-oriented string. It is a six-sided string, and ReString Zero as well. And six-sided strings are kinda a mix between round strings and shape strings. Round strings offer, I think, in my opinion, a bit better snapback, and yeah, shape strings bite the ball a bit more. So six-sided in the middle, trying to offer you a bit more bite, but still with, let's say, as good snapback as possible. A bit more spin when you accelerate a bit more predictability when you really want to hit your targets, and sometimes with a square-shaped strings it is a bit more difficult. The ball trajectory is a bit more up and down. Yeah, ReString Zero is more about being consistent. Great option for those looking for control but don't want to go too stiff. You need control, you need comfort, you need predictability. I would say, yeah, very well balanced string, but misses this something special, like to keep me excited. I think that's it for this review, quick one. I think this string can work really well in 1820 and 1819 string patterns, maybe even bigger head sizes like Speed Pro, Gravity Pro. I would in general put it in a contra-oriented racket and string it low to open up the string bed even more, so you get a bit more spin potential while still getting a very predictable response, and that's where I think this string shines the most. It's predictable while being slightly thinner gauge. So yeah, give it a try. Let me know in the comments if you already tried it and what do you guys think, and subscribe if you can, and see you soon. Bye bye.